Hi guys, you are joining me here in my kitchen in my PJs. It is Thursday night currently. This whole week was my yearly appointments week. So it's now to Thursday night and all of those are done. So I want to bake some bagels, and then tomorrow I have a fun little plan that I want to take out with me. So a little 24 hours with me. Tonight we're gonna bake some bagels, and I have made some extra active starter that I did not put back in the fridge. And so I made a sourdough loaf, but I knew I wanted to just make something else with what was left over. So we're gonna make bagels, and I will link below the recipe I'm using. I'm very, very excited. Bagels are one of my favorite pastries, breads, behind scones. So that's what we're gonna get into first. And then I am also gonna show you all some of my sweater that I'm knitting. I haven't even showed this on the vlog. Yeah, I think I took 3 days off, and now I'm back to it because it's just a feat. Building knitting the body part is, yeah, it was mentally. I also, guys, have started watching Traders. I normally don't hop on the bandwagons of the reality shows just because it's not really what Ev and I want to watch together. But Ev was gone this week, and I was like, what am I gonna watch at night? I watched Bridgerton, which is a whole other conversation. And there's only 4 episodes of that. And then I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? Let me just start Traders. I almost don't want to say it's so good I'm obsessed. That's what Molly normally says. It's very intriguing, and I don't know if I'm intrigued. I'm on episode 6. No. Currently, episode 8 came out today, and I have left 7 and 8 unwatched because I want Evan to watch it with me and see if he would like it. And I told him he could just jump in because I think it's gonna be fine. But I'm intrigued with it, and partly because Helen Cummings is everything to me, and partly because the game is very interesting. So I wouldn't say I'm obsessed yet, but it's intriguing. Going back to Bridgerton, y'all. I almost turned it off on episode 1. Anyone else? Then it got to the end of episode 1 and went straight into 2. And episode 2 is when it just grabbed my heart without spilling anything. The girl and her 2 friends that she works with, they are precious. And when there is a scene, if you've watched it, I think it's in episode 2 or 3, maybe it's 2, where the guy friend is also, love his accent, obsessed. I would want to hear him talk every day. But when they are peering in at, oh my gosh, what's his name? Mr. Bridgerton, whatever the main brother's name is this season. They're peering in at him, and he looks at her and is like, he's come for you, or he's come to find you. I literally teared up. It was just so precious and sweet, and it's moments like that that I live for. But I will say, episode 1, the masquerade ball kind of drove me a little nuts, just because I don't know. I feel like season 1 of Bridgerton, they just went and hit all extremities of beauty and set design, and I think it's really hard to kind of go from there. And so when that masquerade, I don't know, it was darker, and I think it was meant to be darker, but it just made me feel, after having a break from Bridgerton, kind of not as invited back into the story. That's my critique. But if you've not watched it yet, get through episode 1 and then you will love it. Okay, my blueberries are starting to juice, so let's start those up and just get into baking these bagels. while the berries are cooling down, I want to show y'all my knitting project. The neck and the body. I'm very, very proud of it thus far. I have probably messed up so many times, but I have gone back and like redone it, and it's been a whole process in that way. But here's what saved me, and any other knitters, I'm curious if you do this as well, especially when you're doing the yoke. I have 50 rounds I need to do on the yoke, and I also am swapping stripes. So I had to literally make a list, and if I have only just written what round I'm on and there's not a check mark, then it's not completed. It's what my current round is, because that's the only way my brain could do it. Like, how, I'm just so curious how else anyone else does it. So if there are other knitters watching this, first off, hi, tell me all your tips. I'm new. I'm new to this. And also let me know what you do for the rounds, because that's just what saved me. But I am very proud of this. I also wanted to, I'm kind of filming a little series, I haven't released it yet, of just doing my first sweater. And I talk about it in that really quickly, but I got all of this yarn and these needles at the thrift store, and the green is, I think it's all similar. I got 3 balls of that, but then this like gray color, I have a couple different balls, and they're kind of similar, kind of not, but I think it's gonna get me at least on my first sweater. I don't know, I was just like, it's my first sweater, like I've talked about, low risk. I want to be able to mess up, I want to be, you know, and it just not be precious, and I'm kind of loving how it's coming out. Now this top part, the day I went to go get this yarn, they had one bigger ball of almost this multicolor cream with like speckles of blue and green in it. And I was like, wait, that would be perfect for the ribbing on the collar. And if there's ribbing, I haven't read this far, if there's ribbing for the sleeves, or I guess I could add it. And so that's what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah. That is where I'm at. Oh, hold on. We'll do a little try on. Let me try not to lose this. Like, hello. Love. I love that. Cute. Anyways, I'm gonna keep knitting tonight, even as we watch, because I'm just to the point where it's kind of mindless in a way. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't know how people sit there and also watch a show, because if you look at my list, I messed up. It was when I was watching Traders last night. I did 2 rounds of the same thing and then 2 rounds of the same thing, and it was fine. Like, I just corrected. But I was like, this is why I can't knit and watch. I'm just not that skilled yet, but we're getting there. So that's the knitting check-in, and I'm very proud of it. Okay, now to do my second round of stretch and folds with my sourdough. I did it, hopefully. I feel like it could be smoother, but my lovely girl here, she was starting to fight against it, and so I got nervous, but I'm trying to pull it out to show y'all. I'm very proud of that. So So now we're gonna put it in a bowl and it's going to sit out and ferment for 8 to 12 hours. So we're just a fermenting household over here. All right, let's go. Speaking of fermenting, I also made scones last night. Knowing Evan was coming home today, I was like, what a lovely treat. So we have those that I'm gonna bake tonight, and we're also doing pizza because why not? So that's my night tonight and tomorrow. So here's my kerfuffle I am in. Let me get seated and let's chat about this. I am currently falling out of love with the gym. It's so cold. It is very hard to just like get up and go. And I'm someone who used to do it at 5 a.m. all the time. So like I've been there, I've done that. And yes, the easy fix would be like working out at home gym. I don't have that. So here's the thing. I also just want to move more. I am more sedentary these days and I just don't love it, and my body just doesn't feel as good as it does when I am moving a lot. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way for it's gonna be a journey. Tomorrow it's not gonna be done perfectly, but I just wanted to give the intro because when I wake up in the morning I probably won't be all perky and ready to talk to camera. But we're gonna try really hard to, I don't know if it's like get up and just go walk and warm up my body, get some steps in. Like, of course, come spring and summer, like getting up and just going on a walk would be the dream. But I kind of want to get up and walk and move my body. And then whether I stay at the gym and do more or I come back and take a class, that's as far as I've gotten. So I'm gonna take you all on that journey with me tomorrow, and we're gonna finish up some projects as well I was working on, and then I'm gonna do a little bar class tomorrow as well. So I am going to get all this cleaned up and start making pizza with Evan, and I will catch y'all in the morning. Going to shake this dough and then let it, it's got to ferment for a little bit longer, and then we're going to get into breakfast and coffee. These are like some of the first words I'm speaking for the day, so bear with me. The gym was great. I put in my AirPods and like turned on noise cancellation and played jazz music, so I was like just trying to wake up, and it actually was lovely. I started getting warm like 15 minutes after I was there, and that was nice. So just super simple, easy walking. Got like 3,000 steps in, and honestly it just warmed up my body, so it was really nice. So yeah, I'm not sold on that plan yet, but I did it, and that's what matters. reminiscing, and I think days when I do my bar class, I definitely am not going to go to the gym and do the walking and then have like a weird 3-hour gap. It kind of was just messing with my like productivity brain. But anyways, besides that, let's get ready for bar class. I sweat intensely, so I've learned I pretty much just wear black to the class, especially in the leggings area, because otherwise I just have sweat stains everywhere. So let's get changed for that and freezing. Get back from my class, I am going to boil the bagels and then cook them, so that's gonna be exciting. And then we're gonna make pasta tonight. Well, not make pasta, sorry. We are going to make a pasta dish, and then I'm gonna bake my sourdough tonight. So all the baking things, all the fresh bread things, that's kind of the plan. The sun is actually out today and it's a little bit warmer. I'm very thankful. But okay, I need to grab some water and then get out the door and head to class. Let's go. And I'm gonna do everything to the nth degree in class. I've decided we're gonna do everything. I don't have any sore muscles. Have no reason to not do everything. So let's go. I'm like hyping myself up. We got this. I'm back from the bar class and I am so sweaty, but sorry, that was really loud. But Evan and I are gonna go on a walk. It is sunshiny today, and I asked him if he wanted to go on a walk and potentially go get coffee on that walk. But I really want to get to 10,000 steps today, and I'm at like 7,300. So really close, and would love to do that in our walk. And then I am currently boiling the water for the bagels, and I am warming up the rest of the soup I made for lunch this week. Y'all, I have to tell you about this soup. I took Rao's tomato basil soup that's in a jar. I had 2 of them. Put them in a big pot, added some chicken stock, and I added carrots, onion, celery, ground chicken, and white beans. It was incredible. Literally so good. And I have been adding like mozzarella or tortilla chips. Like, I've done it a little different every time I've had it, but it is insane. So it's definitely still soup season for me mentally, and like what's it called, like thickening up the soup or amping up a soup from a can or a jar is something that I find really fun. So did that, and I'm having the rest of that. But I'm really excited to boil these bagels. Like, the process just is so funny to me. And then this afternoon, after the walk, I want to do a little vision boarding, and I will talk more about that when we get there. But that's what's going to take us into the rest of our day, and I'm very excited for that, because I've just needed to pause and take time to do that, and I'll explain all that why. So let's get into boiling these bagels and eating, because I'm starving after that class. That was crazy. They're definitely not the prettiest they could be. The colors because of the blueberries, if you're nervous. But I'm so curious to see the inside. Like, curious to know, like, how the quality of them are. But the next round, we will work on beauty and grace. But if you make the recipe, mine were starting to get golden around 18 minutes. So, just forewarning. I didn't want to, like, burn them or make them too tough, so. But I'm so intrigued. We'll let them cool off for a minute and then cut them open and taste them. Hi guys, I am back from the walk and we also tried the bagels. Sorry I did not film it. Evan and I were mid-conversation and I was like, I can't really stop this. But I did take a picture that I'll insert of the inside of it. We were discussing it back and forth. The texture of the bagel was awesome. The flavor was not as strong, but I saw other people commenting on that recipe that said the same thing. And I didn't add the dried blueberries like around it. And I know that would probably give it so much flavor, but it was still great. And I feel like I accomplished making bagels. Like we put some melted butter on it and it was great. So can say 'twas awesome. At some point this weekend, I might try making like scrambling some eggs, adding cheese, like doing something like that on it and make a little breakfast sandwich. But I'm having so much fun with baking in the sense of just exploring these things that I've always loved and like making them. So very proud of that. I have grabbed my computer and for the past 3 beginning of the years, I have been making a vision board that I turn into my iPhone background and also my iPad background.
So I'm going to take you through exactly how I do this. One of my favorite things to use is Pinterest in just all of life. But I love to just go on there and type in anything. Like I was using the format of vision board blank or vision board relationship. Like I knew kind of certain pictures or words I was looking for. And I just went through and started creating a board so that it was all in one place. And for me, I have been thinking about just certain areas. So fitness and gym is one of those areas I wanted to work on and just have consistency. So like one of my words was consistency. One of them was just strength. And then I also wanted to have a fun picture of bar because that's been such a new added love in that area. And it's kind of like rebirthed my love for working out. So that's just an example of one of the categories I was using on my vision board. Another one is always for me like relationship. Even before I met Evan, I just wanted to have good words or good energy towards relationships I was seeking, friendships, and also working career have always been a big category for me. I want to work my bum off and create beautiful things to bring to the world. And for example, another important word I knew I wanted to have on my vision board was peace and anything around calm and all of that. So that is just what I started typing in Pinterest and just seeing what come up, and some things were aligned with what I was thinking and some things weren't. So I just saved the ones that were. And then from there, I went into Canva, and my vision board is always on my phone screen and my iPad, but you could also make one for your computer screen or to print out, like whatever. So I just started with a template for my iPhone wallpaper. I go through and I like to have all of my categories together. I try to save some pictures, some words, and a couple pictures that don't have any words on it that can be more like a background, like that flower bouquet in the middle is something that inspires me, but also like I just needed it as a background color. And listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this. I realized there was a lot on that board. I'm gonna edit some of that out tomorrow and kind of consolidate, but I just got so excited. You know how you'll just have so many ideas, so many desires, and that's what happened. So just love me through that, and we're gonna figure it out. All in all, this is how I make my vision board, and honestly, it's just a great exercise of just taking a moment at the beginning of the year to pull together everything that you are desiring, you're wishing for, you're hoping for, something that you might even just want to keep in your brain or your life for that year. That's at least how I look at it. Everyone approaches it differently and uses them differently, but that is how I use it. It's really helpful for me because, I mean, like, it's already February. Like, what? The year will just fly by for me if I don't take a second to just write these things down. And I actually discovered, like, some things that I didn't realize I was desiring just as I was on Pinterest. And so it actually started to get kind of emotional. So yeah, I'm just really glad I took the time to do it.
Hi guys, I just finished my vision board, but if you can see, it's not, like, it's gonna get cut when I make it wallpaper, so I am going to also try to pare some of this down tomorrow. I've got some time throughout the day, Saturday, that I am just gonna play with this a little more, but I wanted to get it all in there and see, like, what the colors look like, what the words. So I got this far, and I'm proud of it. It feels very me and feels very connected to this year and things I've already been thinking about and feeling. So really glad I did that and took the time. And yeah, I'll edit what's going on tomorrow. My brain is now like, I'm done. Now I've got to run to Kroger because I forgot to after the gym and grab some pasta sauce for tonight. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna close out the vlog here. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like this week was a little bit more jumbled just because of all the appointments I had most of the week and then wanting to film yesterday and today. So thank you for watching and making it to the end, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.